What up, kiddies? It's your boy. That's right. It's your boy Winston. I'm going to be in charge today. Senor Kristian has some family stuff that he needs to take care of today. He is fine. Everybody's fine. He just said, "Hey, bro, I need you to run the ship." I said, "Okay, that's what a skipper's supposed to do. You know what I mean? To make sure that we don't run into any icebergs, while you're taking a nap or whatever it is you're doing." So, Capes and Cows Friday, you know what it is. We have a lot to talk about today, man. First of all, WGA is actually out here in these streets getting ready to block the Warner and Paramount deal. They're ready to make sure that that doesn't happen. Hell yeah. See, this is exactly why my sister union, respect, love that. Paramount also apparently offered David Zaslav a co-CEO role with the merge company. So, he's probably not happy about it because he gets paid a lot of money to do a lot of nothing. So I'm sure he's not super thrilled about that. But James Gunn, we've got some updates from him, long-term plans for the DCU, Beyond Man of Tomorrow, stuff that's coming but not guaranteed, more stuff about Man of Tomorrow, the failed Arkham Asylum series and the Waller series. And, DC Studios is registering the Salvation Run trademark for a future film. Muschietti still intends to direct The Brave and the Bold. We got a lot of stuff going on today that we have to talk about. I'm not doing it alone. I've got Chris Carr with me. But before we do anything, we got to hit that sweet, sweet music, baby. Let's go. Capes and Cows, we back in the building. You already know what it is. As I have said before, you know me, I'm Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blurred. I am running on hopes and dreams and caffeine. That's about it, because I'm not going to have a lot of time today. But again, I'm not doing it by myself. I've got backup. I brought the Superwoman to my Batgirl. Chris Carr's here. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, that's who we are. We got
the world's finest as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who is your like main go-to superhero?
Like, for like DC though specifically, or just in general?
That's just in general. I was gonna say the world's finest. I was gonna say Batman and my Superman, but then I was like, but like Batgirl and Supergirl actually also kick ass too. So who am I going to for you?
I mean, for me, I'm a Spider-Man girly, but also like another dynamic duo from DC. This is still ladies, but the Power Girl Huntress team up was always so fun.
That one's always fun. Fire and Ice is kind of dope.
Ooh,
Fire and Ice, sexy as hell. That's just two, just like one Scandinavian model and one Brazilian model who also have fire and ice powers, whooping ass and taking names.
They knew what they were doing.
Exactly. And depending on the continuity, they're either best friends and they're both out looking for men's, or they love us and they're not worried about men's. They just whooping their ass. It doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's either iteration, they're incredible. So
a goal for anyone. Either version.
Well, all that being said, Chris, just want to check in. You're doing all right? Everything going well with you?
Dude, doing great. I booked like 5 voiceovers in 24 hours, which was nuts. And so I've had a crazy few days, plus doing the podcast on top of that. So listen this holiday season for 1-800-Flowers, everyone. I have so many campaigns with them.
Bro, the fact that they brought you back every time is clutch. That's kind of the dream, right?
It's great. Yeah, it's nice to have work, It's good to be invited back anytime. How about you? How are you doing?
I am doing all right. It's been kind of a crazy week, working like crazy. And as I was telling you and Luke right before we started the show, I am on a veil for a feature right now. So to that point, I'm going to cut my side of the banter a little short just because, folks, I actually have that meeting with the producer and the director at 11 via Zoom. So we got to get out of here on time today. That doesn't mean that I don't want all of your lovely, lovely super chats. We have quite a number to work against here, Chris. Miss Steph got it up to 137 this week. So that's a monster of a number to get to, but I think we can do it. So all I'm going to need is for everybody to get in there, send in those super chats for any questions and stuff like that you want to kind of get in the discussion. We appreciate it. And I'm going to get it popping immediately to this first story. I realize I got to go and do that screen share thing. Whoops. Let's see. Go away. Here we go. Okay. Boom. The WGA is looking to block the Warners-Paramount deal. I was mentioning this in the top part. This is the Dark Horizon story on it. Both the West and East branches of the WGA have issued a statement indicating that they will work to try and block a studio mega merger between Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Skydance. Warner Brothers Discovery has reportedly rebuffed at least 3 offers from directly from the David Eliason-led Paramount to acquire the studio. The 2 branches of the Writers Union said in a statement on Thursday that a merger between Warner Bros. Discovery and any other major studio or streamer would be a disaster. Merger after merger in the media industry has harmed workers, diminished competition and free speech, and wasted hundreds of billions of dollars better invested in organic growth. Combining Warner Brothers with Paramount or another major studio or streamer would be a disaster for writers, for consumers, and for competition. The WGAW or WGA West will work with regulators to block the merger. Breathless and rampant speculation about a potential acquisition has rocketed WBD's stock price in recent weeks. On Tuesday, the company said it's reviewing strategic alternatives to maximize shareholder value, which has been translated as meaning that they're up for sale. The company has indicated it has received unsolicited interest from multiple parties, though Paramount appears to remain in the driver's position due to little in the ways of hurdles to such a merger, along with support from none other than the White House, according to the New York Post. A senior Trump admin official told the outlet, "Who owns Warner Brothers Discovery is very important to the administration. The Warner board needs to think very seriously, not just about the price competition, but which player in the suitor pool has been successful in getting a deal done." And that points to the Ellisons. All right, Chris, I have so many thoughts, but I really want to know where your head is at. So you hear this news, you hear that WGA is not taking this line down. Where does your mind go with all of this?
Man, it's all kind of a mess, isn't it? It's a lot of stuff to work out. Without getting too political about everything too, because I do want to just focus on the actual, merger part of this. It is concerning anytime we have these kinds of business deals go through, because there is a lack of different voices. Right. That's one of the concerns right now. Right. And not only from the standpoint of just like different types of media that you can consume, different stories being told, but also from a news standpoint, when you only get one perspective, which is bananas that there's perspectives on news. This didn't used to be the case. I'm going to sound like such a boomer for a second. Like you used to just get facts. And then there were a couple shows with political pundits. And now everything is very skewed. And that's unfortunate because, data doesn't have feelings, right? We all do. We have feelings about the data.
Right.
So that is concerning because we are moving more and more towards not having partisan news delivered to us. On top of that, just from a storytelling perspective, I want to make sure I keep hearing from voices that have different lives than I do, that look different than me, because I grew up in a very suburban white area of Texas. I want to keep learning what other people have gone through and what other stories are out there. And I always want to make sure that people have access to that stuff. I also, as a consumer, don't want to have this limited and have a really high, expensive streaming service that just gives me a bunch of trash. There's
absolutely. I mean, and when you consider that, like, look at all of the various networks or streamers and how all different their stories are, but they're all interesting. Like, it was an actual interesting race this past Emmys about who was winning what. So, if you think about it, you had what? Not this year, but House of the Dragon. You had the Penguin kind of going on there. You had White Lotus. You had the Bear over with FX/Hulu. You have Hacks, which is also HBO. You have Yellowstone. You had 1942. You had Fallout. Like, you had all these different studios, and Severance, and Ted Lasso in recent years. All these different studios, which are presenting all these different stories, but they're all interesting. And you're exactly right. Nothing comes out of a merger where they go, you know what we're going to do? Make more content. When you merge something together because you were combining those companies, the point of it is to not spend as much money, is to take whatever said resources that you like and to cut everything else. So you are not going to see more shows or more movies or more jobs. You're going to see less of all of that. And I God, man, like I said, I'm also not trying to get super political about that. I do that on plenty of other shows. There is nothing more disgusting than the White House saying, yeah, you should really look at this one particular group as far as your buyer because they got shit done when they worked with us. That is literally the most disgusting anti-First Amendment shit, and I will leave it at that. I don't need to go deeper than that.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a free market, then have a free market. Okay, like period. I disagree with the merger no matter what it is because we don't need to be shrinking the industry. But the idea that it's almost like no one learned a lesson at all about what happened for like a week or two with Kimmel. You know what I'm saying? And again, we don't need to dive deeper into that because I know Kristian doesn't really like to do that on this show, but that's enough to go, I don't like that at all. Like that genuinely infuriates me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it absolutely does. And if you guys do want to have more of that side and hear it from people who are far more educated than me, CNN, obviously one of the companies under the Warner Brothers branch, did put out a really interesting article just discussing the political tie-ins and everything today. So that might be something that other people could go look at.
Absolutely, man. So I got to give a major shout out to the sister union, the WGA. SAG, they kind of decide if they're going to grow a spine or not from time to time. Sometimes they are very much on the right side of history and say the right things, and sometimes they're just kind of like, so WGA tends to be at the forefront of all of this. They were the first to go on strike. Obviously, their deal ended before the SAG deal did.
Yes,
but they were very good at playing hardball early on in 2023, and so I am happy to see that they see the forest from the trees and go, nah, bro, we're not going to let this happen. And really flexing their muscle to try and stop it. Because again, I just think this would be bad for any industry. You don't need the more you have the same type of stuff just kind of go together, as a lot of people said, you're moving closer and closer to monopoly. And a monopoly is genuinely how things go completely sideways, especially if we live in a capitalist free market. You need competition. That is how you keep things fair. That is how you keep things even. And that's how you keep the variety of choice. That is the main thing that is there for consumers above all else, is having choice.
Beautifully said.
All right. Well, wonderful. With that being said, y'all get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Send in those super chats. Are you pro merger and you think that people are blowing this out of proportion? Or do you agree that the less we have option wise and studio wise, the worse off it'll be for everybody top to bottom, except for the top shareholders? You let me know what you think in the comments. We want to hear from you as we go on to this next story, which to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery, Paramount offered David Zaslav, co-CEO, a role in a new merged company. Now, this is from a comic book movie. Warner Brothers Discovery sent a shockwave through Wall Street and the entertainment industry when it confirmed it was up for sale. The ball got rolling when it was revealed that Paramount Skydance had made an offer to purchase the company. Since then, other companies have reportedly pondered making an offer of their own, including Comcast and Netflix, though Netflix has since denied this. The Warner Brothers Discovery Board rejected Paramount's offer, the latest of three, on Tuesday, October 21st. Per Reuters, Paramount made a $60 billion offer split into 80% cash and 20% in stock. The offer amounts to almost $24 a share, $23.50 to be exact, according to CNN Business. According to Reuters, this offer was deemed too low by WBD. Paramount Skydance co-CEO David Eliason, however, is not backing down. According to the New York Times via The Wrap, wow, that's a lot of according to via somebody else. In order to make its offer more attractive for the WBD board, Paramount offered Zaslav the position of co-CEO and co-chairman of the company that would result from merging WBD and Paramount Skydance. As mentioned, Paramount's determination to purchase WBD is strong. In a letter to the Warner Brothers Discovery Board obtained by the New York Times, Ellison wrote, "We are confident that we are the best partner for WBD. With a combination of our two companies, created a scaled Hollywood champion to the benefit of."
We've been on holiday tables for almost 100 years, from Thanksgiving dinners to New Year's celebrations. We know a thing about making gatherings feel magical, and we know a little convenience gives space for more connections.
I don't know where it is.
We're China.
I'm losing my mind. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, everybody. I need to not yell first of all.
Pause it.
I couldn't pause it. That was the problem. I was being attacked by sound. Oh, God. Okay. According to CNN Business, Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Skydance are playing their parts perfectly in the negotiations, which presumably means WBD intends to get Paramount to raise its latest offer. Per the outlet, however, the company Zaslav considers good candidates to merge with WBD are actually Amazon and Netflix. The latter, however, has expressed disinterest in purchasing the studio. During a market analyst call via The Hollywood Reporter, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos stated the streamer is fairly uninterested in putting its hat in the ring for ownership of WBD. Nothing is a must for us to meet our goals that we have for this business. When it comes to M&A, mergers and acquisitions opportunities, we look at them and we look at all of them and we apply the same framework and lens that we look at when we look to invest. Is it a big opportunity? Is there an additional value in ownership? We're predominantly focused on growing organically, investing aggressively and responsibly into the growth and returning access cash flow to shareholders. In simpler terms, Sarandos has stated that Netflix is more focused on growing organically rather than doing so through corporate acquisitions. And despite the rumors involving Netflix and Amazon, however, things aren't necessarily over for Paramount. This is because of what Ellison mentioned in his letter to the WBD board regarding the strategic benefit of merging WBD and Paramount Skydance. According to analysts via CNN Business, Ellison is correct. Analyst Robert Fisherman of Moffett-Nathanson, these names, an equity research publisher, for example, explained via The Hollywood Reporter, first, as we've previously acknowledged, a potential Skydance Paramount bid for the whole company makes a lot of strategic sense by owning a much stronger slate of IP at Warner Brothers and seeking scale with the combined HBO Max and Paramount Plus platforms. Combining the linear network portfolios would also likely yield significant cost synergies while unlocking strategic benefits from pairing CBS News with CNN and leveraging the long-standing CBS-Turner partnership for NBC's March Madness Final Four, plus other overlapping sports rights portfolios. Oh my God, what a mouthful. Okay.
Yeah.
This is more of what we were talking about. And that's the whole thing. I mean, anytime you're out here in these streets trying to sweeten the pot and be like, hey, man, on top of that, you know what you could do is like, we'll let you stay in charge too. Like, we'll be in charge together and we'll like do it together. And then we'll fire all these people together. It'll be so fun. We'll have a firing party. It'll be the bestest time ever. Because that's all that last little statement that analyst meant about what? The combining the linear network portfolios would also likely yield significant cost synergies. Cost synergies meaning like, I've got Winston as a host, I've got Chris as a co-host. I don't need them both now that we've merged. One of them can stay and one can go. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a lot of that. Your crisis management people, cut it in half. Your casting people, cut it in half. Your producers, cut it in half. You literally will start cutting it in half because you are now one company. You do not need all of that. So anything else out of this particular story and Zaslav being offered the co-CEO to speak on this, or does it feel like we're kind of just repeating what we said before, Chris?
It's a little bit more of the same. I think actually Luke and I were talking about this before the show started, and he summed this up really nicely. Luke, if you don't mind me just speaking what you said, of how Zaslav has done really great, financial things for Warner Brothers, but as a people person, maybe not so much.
No.
Right? And I was trying to do a lot of research on this too, just to make sure that I was speaking from a, mindset of understanding the business, as well as understanding that, we both work in this, our friends and family work in this industry, and hearing about all of the layoffs as all of this has gone on, the various departments being cut, what they've done to Cartoon Network, just all kinds of things. Yeah. It's hard as a creative in this field to find David Zaslav to be a good CEO. I understand why people think he is. I just have always seen him as a fire sale kind of guy. Everything's got to go. And I haven't seen him build anything and create anything. Yeah. And he's one of the most high-paid people in the world. And that's kind of crazy to me, especially when you look at all those budget cuts or the things you were just talking about. Maybe these CEOs, I'm going to be very, very radical for a second here, maybe don't take billions of dollars for yourself.
Dude.
If you have to continually keep laying off people, selling off IP, getting rid of entire legacy bits of media, I don't think then you should get your holiday bonus,
Thank you. Thank you, because I'm trying to remember what his pay compensation. It was something insane that like he got paid like a 370 something million dollar like deal a couple years ago, and like now his like compensation in 24 was like 51.9 million. Like I understand you are running a $1 billion studio. I will give you that, but it was something insane of like 300 something, and that 300 something was because it was like, well, I'm just gonna cancel like half the block. You know what I'm saying? And that then you can give me my money. And like that's not, again, show me something that he has put forth to make something grow. The only thing that to that knowledge that he's done like that is hiring Gunn to run these
Yes.
studios. But
Yes.
everything else was already in the pipeline, and he was just either axing it from continuing or not getting rid of it. You know what I mean? So because, like, let's see, since 2022, Zaslav received massive criticism by audience and industry figures for his decision to cancel projects in order to claim tax write-offs. Some of these projects practically finished or in late stages of post-production included Batgirl, Coyote vs. Acme, and Scoob: Holiday Haunt. Zaslav also received backlash for the removal of many of Warner Brothers' animated programs and select HBO live-action shows from streaming platforms, and pulled some of HBO Max's content in general, including Final Space, Tig and Seek, Elliot from Earth, The Nevers, Infinity Train, Summer Camp Island, The Fungies, Close Enough, Westworld, The Not Too Late Show with Elmo. That's hilarious. More content from Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, the entirety of the original Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies cartoons, and nearly 200 episodes of Sesame Street. And I remember this just because I had friends who like finally had been working their ass off for years, had gotten their projects forward with Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, as they mentioned those. And it was like a couple weeks before their shit was supposed to premiere. And it was like, nope, axed, gone. That is what we see, the writing on the wall. That's why WGA is speaking up. That's why people don't rock with this, is because, again, this is not going to open the field. This is only going to make super rich people a lot richer and screw over people's dreams and outlets of trying to like find, something that gives them there. I mean, I don't know if Fanimator's here, but bro, he must have lost his mind when they got rid of all that Cartoon Network and Adult Swim.
Yeah,
because
I did. I was furious. I was flipping tables.
I mean, dude, those are 5 more jobs you could have had.
Yeah. Right? Well, and like 2 of the things I got booked on were these great independent shorts that I get to do. And I'm so excited. And it's these independent creators. And I feel like maybe that's the silver lining here, is maybe we're going to have more people just go, you know what, I got to do my own thing. I got to figure out how to self-finance. I got to figure out how to do this stuff. And they stay away from some of these things. And we have some of that indie growth happen. We see that with video games all the time, right? The indie gaming space is so amazing right now. So if I'm going to try to make lemonade out of these lemons, maybe that's what happens here. But yeah, it's a bummer when you see so much iconic, fun, innovative stuff just completely go the way of the dodo.
1,000%, man. And I just, the funny thing is if we're keeping it a buck, this was a plan in place by a lot of rich people. That's why getting us kind of addicted to our phones like that and social media like that, it's easier to go, so we ain't gonna get all this free content for us on these other platforms and shit, and then maybe kind of leverage some of that. Because if you think about it, like, I saw someone in the chat going on about they don't give a damn about Looney Tunes, they like Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast is a rare exception that made a lot of money for himself. But think about that. That was a bunch of free content put up for them to then capitalize off of one way or the other. And that's the whole thing, is it's, instead of genuinely trying to get, the best out of people and pay them accordingly for it, it's the idea of, we'll get all the free shit that we need, give a couple people some shit, and then keep it pushing. And again, for the super rich at the top, that's good for you, I guess, but it is only going to hurt consumers and workers, period.
Yeah.
This is not a positive thing. So again, I'm glad to hear that there's pushback. Also, think about what that name would be. It was already stupid enough to make it Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers was fine. Discovery was fine. Paramount was fine. Skydance was fine. It would be what? Warner Brothers, Paramount, Discovery, Skydance? That shit sounds like a fucking law firm. Excuse me. I need to not swear on this show. It doesn't sound good. It sounds awful. So
I hope they do it like when people mix up their names instead of hyphenating. You know, when people do that and they make one up, so it's just like Parabros Dance War. It's just something
Warn.
absolutely just
Warn. Para Brothers Dance.
Be great. And also, Crash and Coyote, you called me out there in the chat. I saw this. Yeah, Zaslav hired James Gunn. That's great. I'm very glad he did that. That was a good thing he did.
But also, guess what? A broken clock is right twice a day.
Exactly. This is the same kind of situation, though, when you guys are like, Kathleen Kennedy's never done anything right. She has. Right. But also, there's a time for her to leave, right? Same thing here with Zaslav is my thing. I totally understand he's done a few good things. There just haven't been enough building things for me. That's all. Right. But, you know, agree to disagree, too. That's fine.
Yeah. No, that's spot on, man. So, again, let us know what you're thinking. You hear all that. Are you... do you think that's a stupid name? The Warren pair of dance bros, Discovery Warren. It sounds like a stroke. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It sounds like a stroke. You let me know what you think if you were rocking with any of them. And before we go on to our next stories, we gotta give an amazing shout out to these incredible sponsors that help keep the lights on around here. Before this merges with Mr. Beast and Roca and Campy all at the same time. Here it is. Check this out.
I fell in love with my wife and I said, that's it. I'll never fall in love again. Well, that's not true. I fell in love with True Classic. I love True Classic. You guys know. If you watch my show, you know I love True Classic. It is absolutely 100% the best T-shirts, jeans. I wear them everywhere. I mean, I'm obsessed. That's all I asked for my birthday was True Classic. And the guys at True Classic started with a simple mission to bring premium, comfortable clothing to the masses because looking and feeling great shouldn't come with a designer price tag. And boy, oh boy, is that the truth. I agree. People vote with their dollars, and True Classic has sold over 25 million shirts to more than 5 million customers and racking up over 200,000 five-star reviews. No doubt. 100%. The brand isn't just about fabric or fit. It's about helping guys show up every day with confidence and promise. Every time I walk in, whether it's at the gym, I'm going to a screening, if I'm going out somewhere with my wife, I'm wearing True Classic and I feel great. Their shirts fit where they should. They feel incredible and they don't break the bank. Truth. You get that tailored look without sacrificing comfort or blowing your budget. I got people last week saying, oh my gosh, you look so good in those shirts. I said, I know. They're great. I've been wearing True Classic for a bit. And you can feel the difference. You can tell the difference the moment you throw one on. It's tailored when you want it. It's relaxed when you need it. There's no bunching, no stiff fabric, no BS. Just a clean, effortless fit that actually works for real life. You know how much I love True Classic. I mean, you've heard me just raving about them. Where do you find them? Easy. Amazon, Target, Costco, Sam's Club, or the easiest way for me, trueclassic.com/Christian, and you try them out for yourself. True Classic. I promise you, you will thank me.
Thank you so much from True Classic for that. And we got one more for you. Check out our friends over at Strawberry.
One of the things I've really been excited to talk to you guys about is Strawberry.me. It really is getting past the fact that everybody has a job. You want to turn a job into your career. And this is a plan of action in order to do it. Everybody knows that you got to have a job. But a lot of people, most people want a career. It's not just something that's going to get you some cash in the bank account, but it's something that's going to make you feel good about what you're doing and you accomplish something. So if you feel like you're stuck in your job and you want to level up on your career, you really should start checking out Strawberry.me. It's a career coaching service, and it helps you move up the ladder. It'll help you if it's trying to get better pay, land your job in your industry that you're passionate about. You take a quiz, and then Strawberry.me is going to match you with a career coach that's best suited to help you achieve your goals. And for me, I sat down, had a conversation, and really started to analyze a lot of the things that I have done, will do, want to do, and it puts it in perspective, and it worked tremendously. You want to back and forth, you look at, okay, this is a job, this is my career, this is the thing that pays the bills, this is the thing that I'm confident about, that I like going to every day, that I want to make work. So you got to be accountable for this stuff, and it's so important and so easy to put off important career moves without somebody to keep you on track. And that's what Strawberry.me does. So head on over to Strawberry.me/Christian and claim that special offer and get started today. That is Strawberry.me/Christian. Stop settling. Start building the career that you actually want.
Thank you so much, Strawberry and True Classic, for supporting the show. And you guys always ask how you can support the show. Obviously, we're on that drive to, I want to say we're trying to get to 250 by the end of the year. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that kind of stuff. But in other ways, anytime that we have people that sponsor the show, this is all stuff that Kristian or the team is using directly and have nothing but like raving reviews about it in order for it to be there. So getting any of those also helps as well. So thank you so much to True Classic and Strawberry. So we've got some more stories. Now we can get off of the soapbox and just talk about straight geeky shit instead of people trying to take away our geeky shit. So let's get into it. We've got this story from James Gunn. He says the DCU plans go significantly further than the Man of Tomorrow, but nothing is guaranteed. Josh Wilding reporting, at the start of 23, DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn and Peter Safran announced the Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters slate. While that year's WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes slowed things down a little, those movies and TV shows haven't taken shape as quickly as fans hoped. Some, like Waller and The Authority, appear to have fallen off by the wayside. Others, such as Clayface and Man of Tomorrow, have been added to the slate. It's also not clear how much of the DCU's future has been mapped out by Gunn. Talking to Boba Talks, the filmmaker confirmed that his grand plan for this franchise will extend beyond his Superman sequel. However, it sounds like the odds of seeing more of it hinge on many factors. Yes, they definitely go significantly further than Man of Tomorrow, Gunn shared. So whether or not that'll be me that's able to fulfill that promise depends on a lot of things in life. What might those things be? Well, continued box office success is likely one of them, while another could be the potential sale of Warner Brothers Discovery. It's everywhere. A new owner wouldn't necessarily come in and fire Gunn, as he's already well on his way to restoring the DC brand to its former glory. However, there is a possibility that DC would be sold off, or that the new executives might have their own ideas for where the franchise should go that do not align with Gunn's vision. While DC Studios is supposedly a separate entity from Warner Brothers Pictures, Gunn is clearly still getting used to working hand in hand with other WBD-owned enterprises, including HBO. There have already been rumblings about HBO executives being unhappy with the cable network potentially being flooded with superhero content, and Gunn is somehow in the dark when it comes to when we'll get the first teaser trailer for Lanterns. While he has seen the sneak peek, he added, I think at least where it is now, but I have no clue when that's planned to be shown. With HBO, the marketing is so different than film. As of now, it's looking like the plan for Salvation to be a new take on Dinosaur Island, which those of you who have read The New Frontier will know was really an all-powerful entity known as the Center. That's a big of enough threat to assemble the Justice League, right? Man of Tomorrow is set to come July 9th of 27. Okay, Chris. So, everybody gets to see a little bit more of why the merger was brought up again, because that is another good point. When we talk about the idea of the consolidation that happens with mergers, there's a possibility that, what just got started could evaporate just as quickly. And I just have a lot of thoughts, but I'm just curious of your mindset of both how you feel about Gunn kind of talking about, yeah, we started some stuff, we didn't start some stuff, and then B, kind of following it up with, we have to see what happens. Like, I mean, where does your mind go kind of hearing what Gunn had to say on this recent interview?
It feels a little more like less in the dark, more coy, maybe some things will happen, maybe some things won't. I think he's trying to temper not only our expectations, but his own potentially of what's going to happen here. And I love how many ideas he has, but I do understand that pushback too of things getting oversaturated with superhero content. We all, at the beginning, for the most part, really enjoyed the Arrowverse. And then that kind of blew up, and that's all the CW was. And then even Riverdale had superheroes, and everything got very, very superhero oriented and got a little bananagrams. I don't think HBO would actually do that and have only superhero content. Right now, we're really talking about like 3 shows. I don't think that's a big deal in the whole pantheon of HBO series.
Right.
But I do think, and this is why we, as consumers, do need to know about these mergers and everything. I think a lot of times it's very easy for us to go, oh, that has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. It has everything to do with what you're paying. It has everything to do with the content you receive. It has
Right.
everything to do with if you continue to have the shows done in the way that you enjoy them. And so this is why we talk about this stuff, you guys. It's not just because we're giving you industry news. It's also because you get to vote with your dollar on this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Am I going to keep buying my HBO subscription? Am I going to do this? Am I going to go to the theater and see these things? So it's very important that you all know about it as well. I just really feel like James Gunn is a really great idea guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that he gets to continue working under the DC banner that he's already formulated and started doing. I'm also trying to go, but it all could be taken away. It all could be taken away at any moment.
That's the thing. If Superman or what Gunn had done so far had just been absolutely awful, then if they're like, whatever, we're starting over, then fine. But overall, this has been good. So the idea of legitimately maybe cutting it off at the pass again because of nonsense business shenanigans is crazy. This, like, I'm the type of person that like I will walk out of a movie if it's like really, really bad. But even then, I'm more inclined to be like, I want to see how this rides out. I already paid for it. Let me see how this is going. I've already invested time and money into it. I want to see how it ends. And then if it's like really, really god awful and offending my sensibilities or something, then I might be like, nah, bro, it's not for me. I'm out. This idea that this could be done before it started. And I know a lot of people are like, man, weren't you the one that was losing your about the Peacemaker season ending? I was like, yeah, because I didn't love how that went in that direction. That doesn't mean I'm ready to throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah.
I was just like, that particular element wasn't for me, but I'm still on board with what's going on. So like, I am just hoping that we get to see this manifest, because for all the people that are such hardcore like Snyderverse fans, for example, how upset would you have been if it had been Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then it was just like, and game blouses, we're done. We like, sorry, regime change. You're not getting anything beyond that. Like, at least I understand the inclination of like, well, we didn't get like the second Justice League and we were just getting the, but you at least had time to have some of that try and work. You know what I'm saying? It would be heartbreaking. Take it to sports. If it was like, yo, we started the season 0-2, but then the season got canceled, you would be upset. You would be upset to be like, bro, we just had 2 rough games, but we were playing well. Like we could have turned it around, but we didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
I want to see this play out. I do not want this to be cut off early because of, people trying to, but billionaires need another yacht.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just me. I get it. I've seen a number of people. The more that this gets said, they're like, "Hey man, they're like, people over Snyder, they like Snyder. They just gonna bring back the Snyderverse." Sure, Jan.
And I love that some of you think that. That's great.
And if that does happen, then I'm happy for you. But let's think in realistic terms here. The main thing that they want to do more than anything is make more money. And the one thing that the Snyderverse was having trouble doing near the end was making money. So unless there was a game plan that spelled out why we made this merger in the first place, the odds of that feel low to me. It obviously started higher with the amount of money it was making. Aquaman cleared $1 billion. Batman v Superman did like what, 750 or something like that, 800. Wonder Woman cleared $1 billion or was just under it. So like early on, but the last returns were not doing well. Like Black Adam and second Shazam and all that, they did not do what they needed to do. So I don't necessarily see that happening. But again, we are curious what you think. If you are on the same boat here, if you are curious in some of Gunn's musings about stuff kind of popping off or not, and the fact that Salvation might be taken over for Dinosaur. But before we move on, Chris, that's a good question. What do you think about that part about Salvation kind of being a new take for Dinosaur Island?
Oh, I love it because I love New Frontier. Oh my gosh, what a fun run. I think everyone needs to read that one. It's required. It's required reading, you guys. Go get it right now. Go to your local shop. I think though that's going to be really, really interesting. And again, this is what I like about DC right now, and what I've enjoyed about previous Marvel iterations is the discovery, the taking something and doing something that I haven't seen on screen in this way yet, and maybe flipping on its head a little bit. For me, part of that, was things with Marvel like, oh my gosh, we're doing what with the Skrulls instead? As a comic book fan, I love when we take something and we just tweak it a little bit so that I go into the theater too and go, oh my gosh, I had no idea we were going to do this. Or, like what James Gunn did with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I knew Rocket's story, but boy, did that devastate me the way that he interpreted it. And so I'm very excited to see Dinosaur Island because also, I mean, come on, like that's just fun. Yeah. That's just fun, ridiculous, popcorny kind of stuff.
Which is fair, and that make it like, because I've talked about this. I get that people love dinosaurs. I do not understand how people keep buying into Jurassic Park. Like, hey man, we just watched these skyscraper-sized monsters just eat everybody. You know what we're gonna do? Make another island full of them. Because that seems to we failed so miserably the first time. Let's make deadlier dinosaurs.
Listen,
that seems like a good life plan.
We're a nation of coulda, shoulda. All right.
So to that point, the difference is with that kind of like New Frontier stuff. I mean, at least with that, remind me, is that the same spot with like they traveled through the center of the earth type shit, and then there's like the whole kingdom that has dinosaurs in it?
Yeah.
Okay. That at least is like, it was down there, it was just like, it was kind of a portal. That's different than like, hey, let's just make a death trap. That's like, it's Halloween. Do you go to these haunted houses where you have to sign waivers that they can essentially torture you and shit? Because there are people that love that. And I don't understand.
Of course I don't. I'm scared of everything. No, I watched Trick or Treat for the first time last night and was just like, I hate this little guy's feet. I hate the sound of his feet moving. I was clutching a stuffed animal the whole time. And that's a comedy horror. Like, I'm not going to a place where they can touch me.
Dude, it's beyond that. It's like they would like waterboard you. They're like literally like screaming in your face and pulling your hair and shit and like chaining you to stuff. Like, you sign away these rights to essentially be tortured.
I don't want to kink shame anybody or yuck anyone's yum. That's great if that's for you. No, thank you.
Not for me.
I want to eat snacks and watch Halloween Town.
I want to eat snacks. That's all I want. I want to eat snacks and watch Halloween Town. Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Lovely.
That's it.
Absolutely love it. Well, let us know what you think about James Gunn, kind of giving the rundown. We got a little bit more from Gunn right now. Man of Tomorrow director James Gunn on fan theories, potential villain, and who the title refers to. This is Mark Cassidy's report on Comic Book Movie. DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn has been chatting to some of his favorite YouTube channels over the past couple of days, answering questions about Superman, Peacemaker Season 2, and upcoming DCU projects. Gunn recently revealed that he is making good progress on Man of Tomorrow and has almost finished the 4th draft of the script. He's now shared some minor updates with Go Read Some Comics, confirming that he is in the process of building costumes and doing all of this sort of stuff for Man of Tomorrow. Host Jenna asked Gunn if he had read any fan theories about Man of Tomorrow that correctly guessed any plot points. He said that he hasn't read anything yet, but did suggest that people might be assuming that the Superman follow-up is more connected to the events of Peacemaker Season 2 finale than it actually is, noting that it is still very much its own thing. Gunn did confirm that the Man of Tomorrow title refers to both Superman and Lex Luthor, and it sounds like this really will be more of a Lex movie with Kal-El as a supporting character. As for Man of Tomorrow's villain, Brainiac as a prevailing theory, Gunn wasn't about to give away anything while speaking to Emergency Awesome, but did say that he's trying to make everything feel different to what's come before. Gunn has previously admitted that he knew the Brainiac theories would ignite when he shared the first page of the Man of Tomorrow script, which featured the movie's title along with an image of a medical x-ray of a human's brain. Listen, of course I wasn't unaware that I had posted the cover of the script that there was going to be discussion about that particular topic, he told EW. But I think we'll hold off from what exactly is happening. Even before this tease, fans had speculated that Brainiac might make the DCU debut in the Superman follow-up. Back in August, an hour-long documentary about the making of Superman gave us a quick glimpse of a storyboard featuring the Man of Steel, Supergirl, Krypto, and what looked a lot like the top of Brainiac's head, though there was a chance this was simply an unused idea for Superman. Many fans remain convinced that the super intelligent villain will make his DCU debut in Man of Tomorrow. Do you think Brainiac's going to be the villain? What do you make of the notion of a Lex Luthor focused movie, etc., etc.? Okay. I'm sure everybody caught my very exasperated sigh in the middle of that. And I'm just going to go ahead and address it right now.
Great.
It was because the one thing that James kept saying is like, yeah, man, Peacemaker season 2 is going to set up Earthing. It's going to be so important to what comes next, etc., etc. So then to turn around and go, the events of the season 2 finale, it's very much its own thing. People are assuming it's connected. They're not really that connected. I'm just like, damn it. like I got in a tizzy about all of this because you essentially made the end of this kind of be just an immediate sequel type stuff.
Yeah.
I want these things to feel connected but be their own individual things. That is what was desired. It is hearing that is the opposite of what he was saying in the previous stuff. So my sigh was from a place of just, have you ever watched a kid in like a grocery store or a toy store where like your ass is just trying to get to the eggs? We're here for eggs and butter and some lettuce, and we have to go. And the kid is like, oh, and dragging the cart over to Lucky Charms. Oh, and dragging the cart over to the Reese's Pieces. Oh, and dragging the cart over to the ice cream. I'm like, put the shit back. I need you to stay focused. We got to get home.
Like that. Let me shop how I want to shop, Winston. Let me be impulsive at Trader Joe's.
My question is, who paying the money? Okay, you got the money to be shopping like this? Okay,
no.
Or do you need? Or are we here for a few items so we can get home and make breakfast and or dinner? Because I said eggs and lettuce. I don't know what meal we're making. Okay, I am confused. But like, Chris.
Good old egg lettuce omelet. It's a good time.
See, if I had said spinach, this would have made sense.
Yeah,
but no,
it would have made too much sense. We really need that calorie deficit. So we're like, the one with the more water, that's what we're getting.
Well, what do you make of Gunn's comments about Man of Tomorrow?
No, I had a similar thing because I went full like Tyra Banks in that moment of like, I was rooting for you. We all were, because I kept defending this so much of like, no, I think this is going to be like a little tidbit that takes us over here. I think like we're making sure that maybe we don't do that thing that Marvel did where we have to have all the homework and this way you can just kind of reference something. But this feels like now that it was pretty superfluous. And that's a bummer. I still like that I watched this show. I'm still glad that the show exists. I'm very, very pleased about that. But if you tell me, we're going to stick with the food analogy here. If you tell me I'm getting a carbonara, and then you throw something out on a plate that's got a whole bunch of like cream sauce, that's not the same thing.
No.
You know, words have meaning. Words have expectation. And so the expectation has been, this gives me more of this. These are all continuations of each other. They're all yes-anding one another in some kind of way. I don't mind a standalone as long as it is a very insular thing then. Like a Werewolf by Night, for example. Love that. I think that's great. I'm totally cool with DC doing stuff like that. Elseworlds kind of stories. Amazing. Love that kind of stuff. But why bring in Lex? You know, why bring in these things if it really isn't that continued story? It just feels misleading. It feels then like a way of, well, let's get people on board with watching Peacemaker this season or something. It feels more like a ratings move for a pop than something that is to actually help the trajectory of the DCU, which does not feel like a Gunn move, if I'm being honest.
Right.
So I the whole article here just leaves me befuddled more than anything.
No, I fully agree with you because again, I'm not anti the idea of that happening. Think about like, you know, the end of Iron Man and you have Nick Fury come in and being like, you know, I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative, or the end of then Incredible Hulk right afterwards and being like, you're seeing Iron Man and Nick Fury discussing Hulk, you know, the idea that they're connected like that and you could just have a little bit of a teaser of it is fine. You made the focus of the end of this season to be that Lex is heavily involved.
Yeah.
So the idea that they're not genuinely working together, then what was I watching? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where whatever my beef was with how that finale went, just the idea of like, okay, for better or for worse, this is where we're going. You know what I'm saying? So then to turn around and be like, but actually they're not that connected. What? Like, that's it. Don't tell me I'm going to Disneyland and then be like, well, we can't actually make it to Disneyland. We're gonna go over to Universal Studios and said, okay, sure. And then the minute we're almost two there, it's like, so you ready for Disneyland? I was ready for Harry Potter Land now. Yeah. And now you're telling me now I'm actually going back to, I'm excited to go to Avengers Campus, but like, that is, make up your mind. I haven't been yet, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been to that or Galaxy's Edge. I haven't been to either one because I don't go to Disneyland.
Oh, Galaxy's Edge, you'll lose your mind.
Yeah, I haven't been to either one, so I really want to go.
I cried. I walked in and I just started crying. I felt so immersed. The first time I did the Rise of the Resistance ride, I forgot to breathe.
How are you here? Isn't that like a 10, 15-minute ride?
No, I mean, I eventually took a breath.
I was like...
And I haven't since. I haven't breathed since.
I haven't breathed since. Never again. But that's all. It's just from the standpoint of, I think like most people, when you are anticipating something, and whether that be a ride you're going on, a meal you're going to have, a game you're going to watch, whatever it is, to be told it's not that thing, but then to be jerked around and be like, it is that thing, it's not that thing, it is the thing, it's not that thing. That is what is, now I'm frustrated because I also have been very much like, yo, let Gunn cook. Like, what? Like, shut up. Just leave him alone.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. And right now, I'm just getting a baby bit frustrated because it feels like I'm gonna get a different answer every day.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be the nature during this merger, unfortunately. Too. It's just gonna be like everything. Who's to say?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, Gunn did talk a bit about Arkham, Asylum, and Waller. So let's talk about that real quick. This is Dark Horizons report. At one time, back before the Batman hit cinemas, filmmaker Matt Reeves was planning out 2 spinoffs for HBO Max. One focused on the Gotham City Police Department and the other on Arkham Asylum. The Gotham PD series project was scrapped. Excuse me. With elements of that show integrated into the HBO-produced The Penguin TV series. Arkham was originally scrapped, but after James Gunn and Peter Safran became CEOs of DC Studios, it was retooled to fit into the new DCU continuity with Reeves still aboard. The project, which had Antonio Campos as showrunner, seemed to flounder in development for a few years until July 2024, when it was revealed that the project was canceled. Speaking to Boba Talks this week, Gunn confirmed the project is dead when asked if there were any hope to resurrect the series. Hope, sure, but that isn't something that's being developed by anyone right now, just didn't work. Gunn also touched upon the long in development TV series focused on Amanda Waller, Viola Davis playing Waller. Speaking with Emergency Awesome, Gunn says scripts are still being worked on and that the series would address a handful of things about the character. That includes what she's been up to during the events of the second season of Peacemaker and other DC projects like Superman and upcoming Man of Tomorrow. Gunn's last update on the series came earlier this year during the Peacemaker Season 2 red carpet when he confirmed the series had progressed only slowly since its announcement. Okay, let me see what okay, we'll come back to that in a second. So just to kind of reiterate, and I don't need to go super deep on this unless there's something else there, Chris, again, with the idea of getting my chain yanked back and forth, I 100% understand that development on stuff sometimes falls apart. Happens all the time. Like anybody that knows anything about TV and film, stuff is, this sounds good, and something goes wrong. A budget, a major player drops out, murders, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. This is part of why the main thing that I have said about Star Wars, about Marvel, about DC. Announce a couple things. Announce 1 to maybe 3 things coming in the next X amount of time. And then stop telling us a slate for the next 5 to 10 years because you were just going to upset people that were excited about things. This is, again, the same thing. If you promise me a pizza party And then I'm sitting here waiting, and I'm like, I ain't bring no lunch today because we having a pizza party. And then it's like, so is the pizza coming? Nah, we're not. We're sorry that the pizza party didn't work out. We kind of counted our budget before we had it. That is my frustration. Genuinely, my frustration is just this idea of being promised all this stuff that we're not ultimately getting. Every now and again, totally understand, but to feel like you name 10 things and only 3 of them are coming to fruition, and then that is my issue. Like, it is better to under promise and over deliver than to over promise and under deliver.
Yeah,
that's just me. What do you think, Chris?
Oh, absolutely. And this is where I think we kind of get the business side of everything taking over stuff, because you do have to let investors know what your slate is. But I don't think, to your point, we have to let them know that far in advance. A decade from now, we're going to be doing this. This is what we'll be doing. Oh, in the next 5 years, this film will come out. I think filling out what you're doing through Q1 and Q4 of a year suffices.
Sure.
And I think, obviously, with films, they do take longer to make. There is a lot of planning and everything involved. There's all these production things you have to coordinate, all the talent you have to coordinate,
Right.
etc. But I think if you just make sure that, again, you temper everyone's expectations by then doing here's what we have on deck right now. And that way, too, you can actually make decisions based on those films, as opposed to then being reactive and going, oh, everything we have planned, we have to get rid of. There's the old adage, if you want to make God laugh, make a plan.
Yeah.
That's kind of how filmmaking is. Filmmaking is Murphy's Law.
1000%.
Everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Absolutely.
So the fact that we're talking about stuff that's so far down the pipeline, it just is setting folks up for failure and setting folks up for not having their expectations met. So if you do want to have everyone excited about an announcement, then you just need to make sure that all your ducks are in a row. You know what I mean? Not promise something and not deliver it.
That's it, and that's all. Like, most consumers are literally just little kids, and they just want to be entertained and have a good time. I really need Dad to stop promising me that he's going to pick me up and we're going to go and play basketball and go camping. Okay? I just want to go play basketball and go camping. I don't want to be sitting at the door with my basketball by my side and my little fishing pole and my little sleeping bag, and he's not coming.
It's so sad.
That's what this feels like over and over and over again.
Just
Luke in the group chat. Luke is in the private chat just going, yo, this just got dark.
I promise this is the time he shows up, Mom. He just said he was getting cigarettes.
Jesus, you are such a good voiceover artist. That was a really good little Timmy. Little Timmy just wants to go camping.
That's all.
Well, are you that poor child that just wants to go camping and play basketball with Daddy, but he won't actually show up? Let us know in the super chat. Send those in. Let's go into another story real quick. So the DC Studios has registered Salvation Run trademark for a film and more. This is Josh Wilding reporting. Peacemaker season 2 ended with Rick Flag Sr. utilizing Lex Luthor's help in finding salvation, a dimension housed with the quantum unfolding chamber that Argus can send its captured metahuman villains. Now, able to open direct, randomly placed doorways to that parallel reality, Flag can strand whoever he wants there. They have zero chance of escape. Chris Smith is currently there alone, but noises in the forest suggest that the world is inhabited by some mysterious creatures. The prevailing theory is that Salvation is a new take on Dinosaur Island. In the comics, the Salvation Run storyline saw Amanda Waller send supervillains to an alien planet called Cygnus 4019 via boom tube. It was eventually revealed to be where Desaad was training Darkseid's parademons, and Lex and the Joker each led separate factions of villains who try to create a new society in a bid to survive their prison. I did actually read this run after Peacemaker season 2, and it is fantastic, but I have my issues with this idea. Much of that won't make it into the DCU, but a Salvation Run project could still be on the horizon. DC Studios has today registered a Salvation Run trademark for a film. It also includes comic books, printed materials, luggage, athletic bags, clocks, watches, clothing, toys, and entertainment services. Rather than confirming plans for a Salvation Run feature, this is likely James Gunn and Peter Safran making sure their bases are covered for the future. Stories are bound to play out in Salvation down the line, though, especially as we know, Gunn is keen to revisit Peacemaker and what's become of the former Task Force X member. That could happen as soon as Man of Tomorrow, but it's when the alternate dimension is full of supervillains that things get really interesting. I like the concept of creating this prison that was absolutely inescapable, but was also a little rash, Gunn said earlier this month, because they think it's not dangerous from their initial tests, but in the comics and in this world, obviously, there's hints of it being dangerous. It really is about the concept, he added, confirming that we're not getting a direct adaptation of the comic based on a pitch from the Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin. The part that really spoke to me was the beginning of it, where Rick Flag Jr. and Amanda Waller said, F it, metahumans are a pain in the ass, they keep escaping, let's just get rid of them permanently. And of course, there are a bunch of repercussions about sending a bunch of bad guys to another dimension. In this case, kind of, the sole person there right now is a good guy who has to survive on his own. Man of Tomorrow, again, July 9th, 2027. So yeah, I did read the Salvation.
Okay, because I haven't.
It was after it all, I was like, I need to know more about this. And it's actually genuinely fascinating. Do you remember the end of Justice League Unlimited, where essentially a faction between Gorilla Grodd and Lex breaks out of who's fighting over the Legion of Doom? Yeah. It's kind of like that. You send all of these metahuman or like supervillains to this planet. They realize that they're trapped there. They're pissed off. And you get the Joker on one end who's like, cool, let chaos reign supreme. And some of the villains being on board, and Lex being like, F that, we're going to go home. And he has a bunch of intellectuals that go with him. And then you have Vandal Savage, who just makes a harem and goes, nope, I'm going to go start a cult over here. Screw you guys. And gets a bunch of female supervillains to go follow him as he goes and tries to start a new world order off to the side. And then it becomes like essentially a three-way clash of titans of these like different things, of them deciding how they're going to do this. If we're going to make a boom tube to get home, if we're going to rule on chaos, or if I'm just going to live on my little compound over here. And then they find out that Desaad has been training these parademons. So now they're all scrambling to fight the parademons while this is happening. And then Lex, being Lex at one point, is using some other villains and their powers as human batteries. So kind of like in the Justice League Unlimited, where he used Tala to be like, I don't actually care about you. I just need your powers to get Brainiac. So I'm going to sacrifice your ass. I don't care. It's crazy. It is a fantastic story. Here's my problem. You both, A, kind of need a whole bunch of villains established in order to do this, and we're just starting off with this universe. B, a lot of people die. So it makes more sense to have that either be an Elseworlds thing or be later down the line than to feel like we're doing this already, unless the idea is we're going to hit maximum capacity of villains being shipped off to this place. So it just seems like we are moving it, as fascinating as a story that it is, it just feels too soon for me, is kind of where my mind is at.
Well, that paragraph you read is absolutely nuts. Like, and then the parademons come, and you're like, oh, the parademons, of course, right? You not only have to establish so many characters, but you also have to establish more lore, because right now we have metahumans are established, but we haven't gotten into the magic stuff in DC yet. We haven't really gotten that much into all of the demonic things in DC. Those are other things that we have to build up to, so we can't just be like, here's a demon, they're coming for you. You gotta have a little bit of runway.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. And so again, I think them ultimately doing it would be fascinating. I mean, you even have a scenario where, to make sure the villains don't get out of control, the Justice League sends in Martian Manhunter. So he's like working as a mole in between it, but then they figure it out. And eventually, like, he's running and he's holding off and all that kind of stuff, but they catch him and they put him in a fire prison.
No.
And then they just leave him there. Like, at a certain point at the end, when they're all like running away, they just kind of forget that Martian Manhunter was in that fire prison. They just leave him burning on Desaad's planet in a fire prison. Like, it's crazy. And it sounds,
because John Jones hasn't gone through enough.
He hasn't gone through enough. So it would be so good of a story to see. But like, this is the type of thing that like I either would wanted to have seen like during the Snyder run of things just because you were more established, or just give me
Yeah.
some time to get these villains to go, yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Then
Yeah.
give me supervillain Hunger Games. Because
100%.
you know, so
Yeah. And
I don't know.
I'm seeing in the chat too. Creature Commandos. Most people did not watch Creature Commandos.
Right.
Most people who go see movies did not watch this. So that's just most of us in our bubble watched it. I know my non-comic book friends did not watch it. I know, again, my litmus test is always my parents. They don't know what the hell that show is. So you have to introduce on screen, the big screen, the concept of all of those things.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. So, but let us know in the comments what you think. Keep sending in those super chats. We're at about 24, 25 right now. So we got a long hill to climb at 137, but we definitely can do it. We got 15 minutes left. We have one last story, then we'll start answering your questions. So Andy Muschietti intends to direct The Brave and the Bold, but can't talk about it for a couple of months. This is Josh Wilding reporting. When DC Studios announced the DCU Gods and Monsters Chapter 1 slate in 2023, one of the most exciting sounding projects for the fans was The Brave and the Bold. James Gunn confirmed the idea was to tell a story of Batman training his son Damian as the new Robin. The filmmaker and DC Studios co-CEO's intention to adapt elements of Grant Morrison's Batman run was well received, especially as it pointed to the DCU having an established Bat family. Understandably, others have been less keen on the notion that The Brave and the Bold will gloss over the stories of characters like Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and Tim Drake, myself included. Gunn has since hinted that The Brave and the Bold has undergone some big changes.
We've been on holiday tables for almost 100 years. From
God, I hate
Pause it.
Gunn has since hinted that The Brave and the Bold has undergone some big changes as the script is being worked on, with the prevailing theory that it will no longer revolve around Damian. The Flash director Andy Muschietti and his sister Barbara Muschietti recently spoke with Variety about it. Welcome to Derry. Asked if they're still working on the DCU Batman movie Andy will direct. Producer Barbara said the intention is yes, but we can't talk about it. Andy added, we have to wait a couple months to start talking about it. I screwed it already. It seems he said too much by mentioning that, though this isn't too much of a surprise. We bet on Gunn once again meeting with select press at the start of 26, where he'll update them on the DC Studios plans and likely share some date details. Heck, we even finally get to find out who's playing Batman, something that must have become clear to Gunn this year as he promoted Superman and Peacemaker Season 2, is that fans are losing patience with his apparent inability to cast the Caped Crusader. Recently, Gunn said he likes where the Brave and the Bold script is, but cautioned that some things have changed and that plenty of things are in flux on what his situation is with his parentage and all that stuff. When he was pushed on that comment and asked if Damian is still in the movie, he replied, I think you have to wait and see exactly what's happening. People can guess, and maybe they'll be right about certain things. We'd have to screen test. We'd have to do this to do the whole thing. He later said of the casting of the DCU's Bruce Wayne before adding, okay, I see what you're doing. 1923, it's a really good TV show. Like, I can't believe how good that show was. He later noted one actor in particular, a pretty big star, wants to be Batman. We've talked about it, but I don't think that's the case. Likely reference to Richardson, who took himself out of the running after saying he met with Gunn. Stay tuned for more Brave and the Bold. Okay, I have a prevailing theory here that just hit me because I'm realizing I'm seeing a lot of myself here. I think that Gunn is a high functioning person with ADHD because ways I have been like, yo, and then you know what I'm going to do, bro? I'm going to soundproof this entire room. It's going to be crazy. It'll be just like a whole studio. Oh, and then on top of that, bro, every single time I do something, I'm going to be able to be like, oh, yo, check this out. All these ideas. I have all these crazy ideas. And when I am able to execute them, they are so sound and so good, right? But the problem is I throw like 100 things out there and I get like 2 of them done. And it drives a lot of people crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So it is one of those things where I have said multiple times that ADHD is 1,000% a superpower, but there's a reason why I'm only allowed to talk about so many things because I can't always get it all. Like you said, idea and this and this and this. Oh, and then what, like this was the ultimate person to write a script. This is the ultimate person to play with toys with and all that kind of stuff and come up with scenarios. But like, there's a reason why like I have to be reined in a little bit. And so I think that we're talking about somebody who is incredibly high functioning, because look at all of the incredible stuff that he has done over the years. I'm just realizing I'm seeing so much of myself in him that had finally clicked, that I was like, oh, there we go. What do you think, Chris?
That makes a lot of sense. As Logan has bananas ADHD, and this is, and I am pretty type A, and so I think that's where you have the Peter Safran dynamic, hopefully, of sure, okay, buddy, I hear you, I see you, but why don't we do this? Hey, why don't we try this? Can you give me a plan? Can we pick 2 of those ideas? Why don't we throw away one of them for today? That's the hope. My biggest takeaway with this article, though, about Andy Muschietti is I love the the phrasing, I intend to direct this. Because like, yeah, man, I intend to lose weight and get out of debt, but here we are. Like, I don't know. I'm trying my best. It feels like the Texan phrase fixin'. I'm fixing to do that because time is nebulous and who's to say. So I feel like this is just a kind of nothing burger moment of, I'm sure you would really like to direct this. You were the first person who was announced to be doing this project. A lot of people like the It movies. I can't speak to those because I haven't seen them. I wasn't a particularly big fan of The Flash, but I know a lot of people like his other work and are very excited about Welcome to Derry. I just don't think that this is something that's going to happen right now based on the way people keep talking about The Brave and the Bold, of we really need to revisit the script, or this part isn't coming together. We still have a lot of work to do on here. I think this is going to get so reimagined that somebody else is going to get on board.
It's starting to feel a lot like Edgar Wright's Ant-Man.
Yes.
Like this idea of like, it's been talked up, and then it's just not. And what I worry even worse is that, because eventually we did get an Ant-Man, I'm more worried that we end up in Blade territory. And then it feels like, but the thing is, you can't do that with Batman. But part of the reason why that might still happen, at least for a while, because you have a Batman story being told by Reeves. And whether or not you actually bring it in or not, because Batman exists in some form or fashion in media, it feels like there isn't as much of a rush to necessarily do it one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that is kind of where, for this universe to succeed, Batman needs to be in it. But there isn't necessarily a rush to do that because audiences will get a Batman.
Yeah.
So it's just really interesting one way or the other to kind of see how this plays out. It's kind of wild to me that it sounds like the way Muschietti said this, but we can't talk about it. It's not just the intention, like you said. It's the idea of like somebody came up to him and be like, do not talk about this again. Be quiet. I don't love that. That literally felt like my mom said I can't talk about Batman no more. I have to just do my homework and go home. So that's the only thing that I was like, but either way, I'm curious. We've talked about this before. I never liked the idea of jumping over. The article nailed this. Jumping over Dick, Jason, and Tim. I think they're two Paramount, and they all deserve their time to shine. And the only way that I would have been okay with that, to be honest with you, I know they mentioned the dynamic duo series. If that was something that we were for sure getting and was coming out beforehand, and we got our explanation as to why we got here, I'd be okay with that. But there is no Damian without the lessons Bruce learned from his 3 previous wards. Call it 4, because Barbara had already been there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. So, but what do you think? Do you think Andy Muschietti is still doing it? Who are you trying to see as Batman? Do you think it's sad? Any of the things that we talked about, get those super chats in. Let us know where your mind is at. And before we get on to the questions and whatnot, we have a couple more incredible sponsors that we want to share with you right now.
I'm going to paint a scenario for you. I want you to picture a bald eagle, which is standing on top of a silverback gorilla, and that's riding on top of a T-Rex. What do you think you call that? You know what you call it? Confidence. Pure confidence. And that's the kind of confidence that you need in the bedroom for that next level wolf riding besides a velociraptor in a Lamborghini through outer space type of experience. You like that? So do I. That is where Rougiet's Go Long comes in. It's not just another ED pill. It's a confidence game changer. Go Long combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual-action formula to help you get hard and go the distance. Hell yeah. Plus, the effects last for up to 36 hours. That means that you can feel confident all day and night and then some on the next day, too. Getting started, it's simple. Connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online at rugiet.com. If prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly to your door. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? You head on over to rugiet.com. Use my promo code Kristian, 15% off your first order. That is rugiet.com. Use that code Kristian. Make sure to use my code so they know that I sent you.
Thank you so much to rugiet.com. As Kristian said multiple times, man, I don't want to mispronounce the sponsor, so I'm just going to spell it like he did. We got one more for you. Check this out.
Boy, am I glad that I discovered Bubs Natural. Holy moly. Look, getting older stinks. And you go, oh, I'm all right. I'm taking care of myself. I'm good. One little turn. Ouch. It doesn't matter if it's you're just waking up in the morning. And I've been going to the gym a lot. And yes, it helps your joints, but it also takes it out of your joints. And whether or not it's that, your joints, hell, your hair, if you're losing hair, your nails are breaking, your skin is losing that glow. Aging stinks, but it doesn't have to. So Bubs Naturals Collagen Peptides, it really helps you turn back the clock. So if you didn't know, and you weren't aware, when you're starting right around your mid-20s, your collagen product starts to naturally decline in your body. And that's where Bubs Natural Collagen Peptides, that's where it comes in. So Bubs helps restore collagen levels closer to what your body naturally had in its youth. So your joints feel stronger, your hair and your nails grow healthier, and your skin looks smoother. Collagen is the most abundant protein, and it's often referred to as the glue that holds our bodies together. I love the science behind this stuff. And for me, even since I got it, I'll be honest, like I'm at the gym. I'm like, hey, it's not as achy. My shoulders were killing me beforehand. Not as bad now. My hair looks better. My skin, people tell me how much my skin looks better. I feel like I'm bouncing back faster from workouts. Here's the great thing about Bubs that's different than other collagen products. There's no junk, meaning zero sugars, sweeteners, or fillers. Third-party tested, NSF certified for sport and Whole30 proved. So you know it's clean and it's trustworthy. It's sustainably sourced from grass-fed pasture-raised cattle. It mixes seamlessly. It dissolves in coffee, water, or smoothies without taste or clumps. I put it in my water right before I'm going to the gym. Over 100,000 happy customers. It's voted 2024's best collagen by Health.com. Live better longer for a limited time only. Our listeners are going to get 20% off at Bubs Natural. You got to use that code Kristian at checkout. Just head to BUBSnaturals.com. Use the code Kristian and you're all set. After you sign up, they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You tell them that Kristian Harloff sent you over there. You support the show. You tell us how good you're feeling afterwards. You don't have to say thank you, but I'll take it.
Thank you so much, Bubs Natural. Appreciate you for that. Look, man, who doesn't want a little bit of extra collagen?
Yeah.
Collagen never hurt nobody. Does you know what I mean? So thank you
so
so much. Exactly. It does the exact opposite. You're Kristian's shoulder back after he did that punching machine in front of, what was it, Jake Paul and all that kind of stuff. They start taking Bubs Natural. Now his shoulder is right as rain. So check all those out. Thank you so much to all 4 of our sponsors today. Now, before we get to the questions, please keep sending them in. Chris, what you got going on Too Filthy Cash?
Ooh, you can go on over today. We released an episode about Batman the Animated Series, talking about which characters were created on that show, going into the animation style, the minds behind it, what they got right on it, why it's so iconic. It's with my good pal Pete Delgado. It's so great. Go check that out. And then over at Spreakfriend Studio, we've got classes coming up. Next week, I've got an Intro to VO boot camp. So if you want to learn about VO, go to speakfriendstudio.com. For all your Too Filthy Casuals stuff, just go to @TooFilthyCasualsPod, wherever you get your podcasts, on YouTube or on Instagram or TikTok.
It's absolutely wonderful. And you know where to find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms. Here on YouTube on Mondays, I got the Blurred Breakdown, the pop culture show for when you need to know, see what happened was. You got Spill the Tequila, myself and John Roca on Tuesdays. You got Blurreds in the Hood with myself and Jay Washington on Wednesdays. obviously here on Fridays, this Saturday and Sunday, 2 more videos of myself and Kristian watching Demon Slayer. We were having a great time. We just finished last week the big fight with the main spider boss in Demon Slayer. And now this next couple episodes, for those that are familiar, is him meeting the what are they called? The Hashirama? No, whatever the Hashira, whatever the like main demon slayers. Oh, Chris is in the background. Chris, what's their name?
The Hashira.
The Hashira, thank you. So
Yeah.
meeting the Hashira, and they're crazy. You need to see Kristian's reaction to all the personalities of the Hashira. It is hilarious. It is genuinely hilarious watching him be like, what is going on with these people? But we're having a lot of fun, so check those out. And then the big thing that I have going this Sunday, myself and Jay, we're doing a Blurred-a-thon. We were doing a marathon stream from 10 a.m. until who knows when we turn the lights out. And we got a lot of stuff. We're going to be playing games. We're going to be watching some NFL football, watching some movies, talking shit. We're doing we did a Avengers draft an episode or 2 ago. We're going to be doing a Justice League draft. We got a lot of surprises popping off. So definitely check all of that out this weekend and beyond. So, all right. We are at 27 right now, Chris. Got to get to 137. So we can do this. 110 in about 35 minutes.
In 30 minutes. Let's go.
I believe in all of you. We can do this together. Okay. We're going to start off with, hey, Mr. CJ, put a record on. I want to dance with my baby. Capes and Cows, roll out. And of course, he follows that up with the all-important comments that we all know here.
I wish I knew.
I wish I knew. Thank you so much, Mr. CJ. Appreciate you. JC Cleaver, support for the dynamic duo. You already know what it is. Winston, have you seen I'm Gonna Get You Sucker? Thoughts on Trigun for anime? Trigun is great. Highly recommend it. I have seen I'm Gonna Get You Sucker when I was like 5 or 6, so I don't really remember it. So that actually is a good movie to rewatch and maybe do a reaction to or something like that. But I have seen, I just don't remember it as well as like I watched Don't Be a Menace to South Central or Drink Your Juice in the Hood like maybe a million times. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, but I need to rewatch it. Have you seen I'm Gonna Get You Sucker?
I have not.
I would love to watch that with you.
Ooh,
I feel like you would have a great time watching that movie.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Bet. Okay. Then Chris and I will talk after this. We're going to figure out a time to do all that.
Yay.
And then what do you think about Trigun?
Oh, I love Trigun. I haven't watched the new anime that's coming out.
I haven't either.
But I really like the OG. Vasha Stampede. Come on. He's great.
Absolutely. Vasha Stampede is the best. Oh, Trigun Stargaze.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it. I've
added it to my queue.
Okay. Yeah. I need to check it out. I just started Dan.
Ooh, okay.
So good. I didn't think it was gonna be. I was like, this seems kind of weird, but the intro slaps. It's kind of why I started it. My sister is working on a project right now, and she's like, "You watch Dan, right?" I was like, "No." She goes, "What?" So she played the intro song for me. It goes so hard. Oh my god! It was enough for me to go, all right, let me sit down and see what this anime is about. And it's weird, but it's a good weird. So highly recommend.
All right. Also, thank you because I've been saying Dan to Dan. Like a noob.
You'll see when you start watching it. If you start watching it, like they'll immediately start singing it. Dun 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 dun. What did Luke say? The first episode of Dun 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 is so different than the rest of the show. It's great. Yeah, it is very different because you have to kind of get. They're establishing like the art style is a little bit more avant-garde, and then. I think Kristian would love it because it is all about the supernatural and the extraterrestrial. It's about aliens and like witches and curses. So like, I actually think he would love it a lot. So we got to get him through Demon Slayer first, and then we'll bring him back around.
Hell yeah.
Winston from Joshua Gonzalez. Winston, your thoughts on the basketball scandal? It's awful. It's crazy. I saw someone be like, it feels like Nico Harrison might be involved in some form or fashion the way he traded away Luka. Do you know what's going on right now?
No.
So a number of basketball players and coaches, which one of the main coach, Chauncey Billups, is a former player themselves, have all been arrested by the FBI for essentially fixing games and like a bunch of gambling scandals, both for poker games, but then also for basketball games. So you had like a dude who is being charged with like, yeah, he's straight, and the mob is involved as well, and all this stuff.
Whoa.
And the idea that like, oh yeah, this dude was like, y'all, you know, my over. My stat line is supposed to be at like, 15 points this game. I'm going to fake an injury. So I end up on the under. So then people would be putting like 200, 300 grand on a stuff and then getting massive payouts. And apparently this is going on for a long time. The FBI busted all this shit wide open.
Dang.
And it looks bad. It looks really, really bad.
I'm very excited about the movie based on all of this.
Oh, the 30 for 30 gonna hit so hard. I cannot wait. But what's wild to me is this idea of like, you are making millions of dollars. That's where this feels like this is maybe the high off of this, or the mob has you by the nuts, because why are you risking your career, your freedom, all that, when you already make millions to go win like 100K? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit is absolutely bananas. So I almost got to believe that some of them maybe were gambling off to the side, and then they ended up in a scenario where they're in a hole and they're like, you're going to do this thing, or we're going to it's going to be crazy. It is going to be absolutely crazy when we get to the end of all of this. So I'm still watching the news to see how it's playing off, but it's been nuts so far. Dylan Neal. Can't catch the show live today, but here's some support for you two beautiful people. And congratulations on the engagement, Winston. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that. Thank you. Engagement bliss and more support. Thank you, Dylan. GoPal comes in saying, it just occurred to me that both of you are Texans. Who's the street and who's the Riggins? Leaving out the horrific injury part.
Street and Riggins?
As in like Friday Night Lights?
Oh, okay. I was an extra on that show, and then I never watched it.
Oh, dude, wait, you were? Do you remember what was happening in the episode? Because I watched that show religiously, because I might be able to remember. You don't remember? Okay.
I did a lot of football scenes, and then I would just be like a kid in a classroom. I kind of got my beer money. It was my first experience on a professional set. It was great.
Because like for me, I was in I did extra work in the show Greek. And I remember there was like some like formal like happening, some formal ball, and like some dude was fighting over some girl, and then they punch each other out, and I was standing over him like, oh shit, you got knocked out, like kind of like Chris Tucker in Friday, but obviously I wasn't a main character, I was an extra, so like I'm miming this in the background. And then if you watch episode 4 of Community, where Pierce, played by Chevy Chase, gets this thing called earnoculars, which are supposed to be binoculars for your ears. You can see a very lost community college student walking back and forth, it feels like, to a class that he has no idea where it is, because Chevy took so long to get his lines right. We were there for hours that they just kept sending me back and forth. So clearly they were using a bunch of different takes. And so I literally look like I have no idea where I'm going. I am the most lost student ever. So just go back and watch it's the 4th episode, and it's in the cafeteria, kind of like student union area, and you just see me in the back, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Sweet. I look for it. But which who is who?
I guess because I'm hosting, I guess I'm Street and you're Riggins, but that means you're the drunk and I'm the paraplegic. Because he said leaving the horrific injury part, so we'll just tag team that way. But
I mean, you guys don't know what's in this coffee cup, so sure.
Dylan Neal with more support, thank you. And then Dylan says, "Last one, I gotta go now. Get these 2 to 200 guys, please. That would be awesome." Thank you, Dylan, so much for coming in and trying to help out. Armada, have y'all seen the Fallout series? Y'all should get Kristian to react to it with y'all before season 2 drops. You know what? I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's so fun.
As much as I love Fallout, like the games, I was late, and then I was like, I'll get to it eventually. I've heard good things, but I haven't seen it.
It's a good time. I was Lucy for Halloween last year. Because I just look like a vault dweller. Just I just that's my default face.
That's
I say
genuinely
okie dokie
hilarious.
all the time in complete earnest. And the first time I watched that show, I was like, oh no, that's just me. That's just me trying my best.
Just hey, I love. Well, then let's get you in season 2.
Truly, come on, guys, come on, give me jobs, please. I think you'd like it though. It's fun.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
It's so good, and Walton Goggins is so good in it. Oh,
Dude, I heard he kills it because he plays one of the what do they call it, the ghouls?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, I'll have to check it out. Go Pal. Merge company sounds like a Dynasty character. Dynasty. Wait, Dynasty. Do I know Dynasty?
The soap opera?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I have to check that. I mean, probably. That's me being uncultured. Armada comes back. Would you rather see an NBA gambling movie or a Louvre heist movie? And which one should be directed by Scorsese and which one by Soderbergh?
Oh. Well, now I want that NBA gambling movie.
I kind of want both. If I had to pick between the two, I'm going the NBA gambling movie over the Louvre heist movie, just because the Louvre heist movie just sounds like Ocean's 14, which I'm not anti that. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the fact that the Ocean's plans seem to come a little bit better together than like this Louvre heist. And it was just like, they just for some reason don't have cameras in this section of the Louvre for 75% was just kind of nuts. Like, so I don't know. The NBA gambling movie for me, and definitely have Scorsese do that. I feel like that is right up his Departed, Goodfellas alley, all that kind of stuff. Go Pal. Kristian says, I know, my brain flashes to George Thorogood, 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer. I know, everybody funny. Now you funny too. I don't know that reference.
George Thorogood. Is that the person who did Bad to the Bone? Am I so wrong about that? Chat will let me know.
The chat will definitely let us know. We're gonna get embarrassed out of here. I love it. I love it. Armada, send the bar rescue guy to organize this WB merger. Okay, that's actually hilarious. That is genuinely hilarious, and I support this 1,000%. He'd definitely walk into WB talking about mustard. Just completely confused as to what's going on. And you know, I was like, you're telling me that you're not going to have Batman? You're not going to have Batman in your merger. Motherfucking Batman! It's just going to go so well. I would love to have the bar rescue guy.
That'd be great.
Pete Chu, WB going on sale smells like Mavs trading Luke.
Are you okay? Does that hurt your soul?
Always. It always hurts. It always hurt. Like my neck is itchy now. It just oh God. It may just be my cat allergy for like an hour too late. Yoshimitsu comes in and says, all this DC talk, that's the news story, I know, but all I care about is that Nightcrawler and Gambit kick ass and are interesting in the new MCU. I completely agree. I really hope, I mean, one of the best superhero sequences, in my opinion, was the opening of X2 and seeing Nightcrawler like attack the White. That was so well done.
Yeah.
So I am hoping we get like that, and the X-Men 97 sequence where he's like pulling Wolverine through the dimension. That was so cool. I hope we get some sort of choreography similar to one of those two. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. Can you imagine him teleport, like helping teleport Gambit to snipe people? Like pop up in the air, card, pop up down here, card, pop over here, sweep, pop over here, card. Like, oh, that would be so dope.
That'd be rad.
Oh man. Okay. Keeping it pushing. Jim 1. If Batman Part 2 and the Brave and the Bold are delayed too long, the next time we see him on film could be in the MCU. Batman goes into public domain in 2035. Whoa. So do you know how this works? Are you not able to stop public domain on stuff? Can they not re-up on their copyright or something?
I'm not sure how it works.
I'm so curious on that, because I know that eventually certain stuff does open up, and I know that, like, for example, like Mickey Mouse, like the Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse, I believe is public domain now, but the rest of it has been locked down because they're like, well, this is technically a different iteration of him and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Okay. According to Google, you can't once it expires.
Oh, okay. Well, do I want to see Batman in the MCU? I feel like I don't.
It's one of those things that I always have the knee-jerk reaction of, wouldn't it be fun if all my friends played together? But I know ultimately I won't actually like it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There is something about like Batman fighting Captain America or Spider-Man is interesting.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
And we've
I'm
seen
not,
in comics.
Right, exactly. So like a crossover like we've seen in the comics or something would be interesting, but I don't necessarily need to always put my chocolate in my peanut butter. Sometimes I like just having a chocolate chip cookie, and sometimes I like just having like, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't necessarily need to always shove all that sugar into one thing and, start up diabetes. Like that's okay. Sometimes I can just chill with one or the other. But, to all that I got to say, as Mr. CJ says, I wish I knew what was going to happen. I really do. Matt, at the movies, I agree that we should have Dick or Jason be Robin. Damian seems too early. I'm hoping that is the part of the Brave and the Bold story that has changed. I'm right there with you. I honestly am right there with you, because this can't be the only Robin movie that we have, or like Dick Grayson movie that we have. As much as I love it, like I need the Dick is such a phenomenal character, and they kind of made him very Adam West whiny Robin. Like, holy, like, because even in Batman Forever, he's like, holy rocks, Batman. It's like there's holes. You see that? There's holes here. And then when in Batman and Robin, he's just lusting after Ivy the whole time. There's a soft spot in my heart for those movies, but I would like to see real Nightwing, real Dick Grayson kick ass,
Yeah, absolutely. Same boat.
Yeah. Armada, those Reddit stories from Blurs were crazy. Oh, okay. So for those that don't know, Blurs in the Hood, now we have a whole segment of Reddit stories. We need to rename it, because the only thing I could come up with is not appropriate for the show as far as what we were naming the Reddit stories. But we read like two per, and they tend to be crazy. I give 4 options to the audience, and then they vote on them, and the top 2 we read them out, and they were pretty wild. One was this week. One was, am I the asshole for not giving full body massages to my friend anymore after she soft rejected me? And then the other one was like, am I the asshole for defending myself when I brought my date home like 10 minutes late as an adult and her dad physically attacked me? And I was like, these are pretty crazy. And we read them, and people were like, what is going on right now? So they're always fun. If anybody sees any funny ones, let me know, because I
that's great.
I comb Reddit for a while looking for good. I don't read them. I just read the titles so I can be surprised with everybody. So if you see a good one, let me know.
I love that.
Yeah. Seattle KO, what was your very first CD album purchase? Mine was Bone Thugs and Harmony, 1999. Although first cassette tape purchase was Stone Temple Pilots, Purple. Do you remember?
Oh, my first CD was probably NSYNC's debut album. But I know that I had on cassette, because I took them from my mom. I got a bunch of her Motown tapes, but I got Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine, and that was something that I played like on repeat all the time. To the point where now my brother, if like there's going to be a weird lull in a conversation, he'll on his phone bring up conga, because I played it so much. Yeah. What was yours?
Love that. There are 2 pseudo answers and one that I consider the real one. So the first 2 that I remember having are Michael Jackson's Bad, and then the Backstreet's Back, Everybody Backstreet's Back, like single that had multiple versions of it, plus the music video that you could put in your computer to watch the music video, right?
Yeah.
But I would say the first album that I actually bought, and I didn't buy it directly, but I had commissioned my older sister to do it because, the parental advisory thing, was Eminem's The Slim Shady LP. And I listened to it once, and I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is so much swing. And I lied to mom. So I went to my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm so sorry. I bought the CD. It's so bad. You have to take it. When I tell you, Chris, within 24 hours, because I knew she didn't return it, she had just hit it. I destroyed her room because I was like, I need it back. And I tore up her closet. I tore up all the drawers looking for the CD. And she's like, what the did you do? And I was like, I was just looking for my CD. I'm so sorry. She's like, here, take your stupid CD. I don't care. Like, destroyed her room like an asshole. So
that's great.
That's why I always say that is the first one that I actually acknowledge because of that nonsense. Mick Horn, Hey y'all, question for Chris. What is the best way for someone to begin a at Speak Friends studio with no experience or demo, but who truly wants to give voiceover a go? Thank you.
Oh, Mike, this is a fantastic question. Thank you so much, because now I get to do a sales pitch. On November 1st, I've taken my intro to VO class and I've turned it into a 4-hour boot camp, and I've made it way cheaper because I want it to be accessible for you guys. It's $99. You can sign up online. When you do it online, there's an extra $10 because of credit card fees, or you can email us and we can do a Venmo or Zelle payment. But we go through how to audition for animation, commercials, video games, talk about some of the places you can audition, some of the tech. I give you guys a voiceover glossary. There's tons of stuff. I also do one-on-one coaching, so I can coach to everybody's personal needs. And it's a great place to start without a demo, because we produce demos. We do all of that. I have a huge sound booth next to me. Actually, can I turn my camera? Is that going to screw everything up? There's my sound booth. I have a whole studio here. It's really amazing.
Cool.
Thanks. So we've got lots of ways that we can set you up on your voiceover journey. And I understand being an actor is expensive, you guys. So also, if you need free resources on speakfriendstudio.com, we have a list of here's a free website you can go to for information. Here's some books we recommend getting. I want you guys, if you're excited about voiceover, to learn about it. And it doesn't have to be with me. I just want you to go pursue it because it is my favorite thing in the entire world. So if you go to our website, again, speakfriendstudio.com, you can also look at that resource page to just do some things really, really cheap. And in 2026, our plan is also to start doing videos so that you guys have a different way to access things. But the live Zoom classes are how you get actual instruction, actual direction. Thanks for asking.
This is exactly why I want you to have all the good things in life. You both from just your positive energy, but the fact that you just want people to share in the thing that you love. That is awesome.
Oh, thanks, man. It's the best. I just love it.
Absolutely. Mr. Nerd Fanatic, the needle drop in Gen V finale was perfect to set the tone for season 5 of The Boys. Starlight now has 7 to take on Homelander 7. Have a great weekend, dude. The Gen V finale was great. Have you been watching Gen V?
That show. No, I watched part of season 1 and I was like, I don't know if this is for me. I need to jump back in.
I was a big fan of the show of season 1, and then the way that they ended season 2, and I truly believe Hamesh is going to get a nomination at minimum because he was fantastic. There's a twist where he has a major personality shift. But the personality he put forth for a majority of the season, and then the personality shift at the end, his acting in that was chef's kiss. But no, it is nice. This does set up The Boys to be a explosive ending, based off of how Gen V ended. So absolutely, I'm very much looking forward to the next season of The Boys. Baba Yaga. To answer your question, other Demon Slayer members weren't supposed to know about Nezuko traveling with the demon. Is unheard of. Also, they can see the breathing. When was I see the breathing? I'm not sure. Now that I do know that they're not supposed to know that they're not supposed to travel with demons. That whole sequence is crazy, especially with their master being like, "It's cool, let it go." And they go, "No, I ain't listening to you. I know I said everybody needs to pay attention. I'm not doing that. You're not gonna make me do that shit." I really found it fascinating, and I'm very curious on how this, because there's only 2 or 3 episodes left in the season after this, so we're really curious how it's going to end, and then how we end up into season 2 and that first movie and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. But join the ride, man. 1000%. The G-Man, hello, dynamic duo. My hope is Apple buys WB. They already run WB shows on Apple TV, and I think Tim Cook would be the least meddling CEO. Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I think it's just that Apple, whether they really want it or not, they're kind of enjoying just doing their own thing at their own pace.
Yeah.
And just for a little bit of tidbit out there for people that don't know, yes, they do a handful of WB TV shows, but I don't think people understand how the studios work in a lot of that, because that is more spread than you realize. So for example, Abbott Elementary plays on ABC. It's a WB show. That happens all over the place, where something is a CBS show, studio show, or a Disney production, or an FX show, or whatever, but then airing on a different network. That happens a lot. Let alone think about, say, 911 was originally a Fox show that expired, they didn't want to renew it. ABC revived it. American Idol originally started on Fox. ABC bought that too. You know what I'm saying? So stuff moves around a lot. So I don't think that that's directly indicative, but I don't know. Apple feels like a more expensive A24 at times, where they're doing kind of weirder stuff or a little bit more out there stuff. I just don't want them to get lost in the sauce of Warner Brothers stuff. I love for them to keep creating what they're creating personally.
Yeah. Did you watch Murderbot?
I did not.
It's so weird.
That sounds fascinating.
It's so weird and fun. Like
that's also Apple?
Yeah. That's why when you said A24, I was like, yeah, they have done a lot of just off the beat A24 kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love it.
I just need to just open up Apple TV and just pick something at random. Once I finish Don Don, I'm just going to pick something random.
Nice.
The G-Man NBA Scandal is Goodfellas, the sequel. I mean, I haven't seen Goodfellas, but I'm assuming you were correct. I need to watch Goodfellas. That's on the list of things for us to potentially watch. Me and Kristian post Demon Slayer. Vicious Soldier, high school rumble anime, must watch, underrated. All right, let me write that down. High school
is that
rumble.
the one?
I
no, I was thinking of something else. Never mind. I was like, I've seen that. I haven't. Cool.
Beagle Studios. Honestly, I know I'm an ant-sized studio, but I'm pro merger for WBD. Universal would be cool. Universal because they have Harry Potter in their parks. It's just not enough. Like, I'll be honest with you. I didn't necessarily want Disney to buy Fox. I just wanted the Fox to release the Marvel shit. That's it. Yeah. I wasn't, because like it hasn't been the worst, but like go back and look, it was the same thing. There was a lot of downsizing. There was a lot of stuff kind of chopped up and whatnot. It would have been better for them to remain independent personally. But you know, it is what it is. Like I respect your opinion on that. I definitely disagree. But I respect your opinion as to why you're feeling that one way or the other. Man of the movies, I feel like Salvation's run is the DC version of Infinity War Endgame, and Peacemaker ending is Thanos Avengers ending. So maybe chapter 1 is actually DC's saga instead of phases. Okay. I actually don't. I don't hate that. You've calmed me down a little bit because I've been a little angry. Go pal. Winston is Hugh from the first X-Men every time. Oh, like does it hurt? Does it hurt when they every time? Louvre Heist, Thomas Crown 2, directed by McTiernan.
Without the kind of sexy finesse.
Mike Cat. But Robin fights his laundry in Batman Forever. That is true. He does fight his laundry.
I forgot about that.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah. Oh man. The G-Man. It was Holy Rusted Metal Batman. Yes, it was. I hate that line, especially after 3 years of Batman the Animated Series perfection. It was Holy Rusted Metal. You know, full of holes. Like, just so stupid. My cat comes back. 80s cartoons or 90s cartoons? 90s cartoons for me.
Yeah, same. I wasn't alive for enough of the 80s to really have an opinion on them.
And let's make it clear. Anything like 89, like the season was 89 into 90, counts as a 90s cartoon in my opinion.
It's a 90s. Yeah.
So like the Ninja Turtles, for example, that I want to say started like 88, 89, something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and say that counts for 90s. Hey, Mr. CJ, Chris, when was the last time you laughed real hard in a movie?
I wish I knew.
The Naked Gun, almost the entire time. I was crying in the theater. Yeah.
This new one. Oh, dude.
The new Naked Gun. Oh, it's so good.
Really, really funny.
That's probably my favorite movie experience of 2025.
Wow.
Our theater was so fun. Everyone was having such a good time. I loved every minute of watching that movie. I was amazing.
I knowing me and how long it takes for me to actually get out videos that I say I'm going to put out, I need to start working on my top of 2025. Trying to think, my best experience in the theater this year was either Sinners, Bloodlines, F1, or How to Train Your Dragon, just as far as like the actual going, because like both what I was enjoying with the movies, but with the people in the theater. Like I enjoyed Naked Gun, but I was in there by myself, so I was just like having fun in the movie. But like theater experience, those had me absolutely beside myself with everybody going ooh ah, ah! like it was.
Oh, for sure. Sinners. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what else? Have you guys watched the latest from King of the Hill? Show of the year for King of the Hill. The new season of King of the Hill was fantastic.
I haven't watched it. I need to.
Did you watch the original show?
Yes.
Dude, it is so good. So I cannot recommend that enough. And our last one for now, Big Gill Studios. I see it like this. Let the studios eat each other up. All that does is open up more space for us indies. That's why I'm pro merger. Yes and no. I hear what you're saying for sure, but again, without getting super political, I think one of the things that bothers a lot of folks right now in America is the fact that it feels like there's only two options when it comes to like politics. People like the idea of having more ideas being presented and having different ways to have your voice be spoken to than to have to be in some cookie cutter general whatever, because when you get too consolidated, it actually becomes much harder for the smaller indies to break out. If the power is divided, it's easier for a young upstart to kind of kick in there. So the more these studios are spread out, the more you have the opportunity to do that, versus if they all kind of turn into one giant conglomerate, they lock things out. Then all of a sudden the theaters will only play the Dance Bros, Paradiz, universe movies. Those are the only ones that show up in theaters. The rest of them don't get to go. So that's where I kind of push back on that theory, but I understand where the logic is. Chris, I don't know if you have any different take on that at all or anything like that.
Yeah, no, same kind of situation. I like the idea of creators doing their own thing, but I also want people to have access to all kinds of stories. That's the big thing, is because, again, if I think about my average movie going audience, if I think about, I always, again, use my parents, they aren't going to seek out, like I had to explain Dropout TV to them recently. And they were like, that's really interesting. What a cool business model. Oh my goodness. They're not seeking out these things. And usually it's when I show them some of my screeners or something like that, that they get introduced to do stories for really small distribution films and things. And I want people to get to see those things. And if it all is just, oh, if you go to this great indie festival, you get to see it. Oh, if you buy this obscure streaming service, you can see it. That's what I don't want. I want people to have access to your art.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just where my mind is at on that. Again, I don't hate the premise of what you're presenting. I don't think that that's quite how that works. Just from experience and looking at history and stuff like that. The G-Man comes back in. Chris, George Thorogood did both Bad to the Bone and One Bourbon.
Oh, One Bourbon is his other song. Okay. Well, not his other song. I'm sure he has one. He did two songs. Good job. No. I'm glad I got that right, though. Really just pulled that one right out of the butt.
I'm still impressed. That's more than me. Alex, starting late, but Superwoman to my Batgirl will forever be a classic for me. The Chris and Winston combo was just as amazing as Chris and Rob was.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love being here.
The Superwoman to my Batgirl. Hell yeah. That all day, earned day. Beavis and Butthead Do America would be a great react. Oh, that is a great movie.
I have not seen that.
I do love that movie. Oh, wow. Okay, great. We have a little bit of time. As I mentioned, I have a hard out, but they said they're pushing to 11:15, so that's good. The only thing that's annoying is I asked, is there anything you would like me to do for this? And it was radio silence until they said right now, oh, yeah, the same sides. I would have been working on it, you jackhole.
No. Okay.
All good. Gopal says, I didn't even watch the show. Which show? Sorry. Oh,
Beavis and Butthead? I didn't either.
Oh, I love that show. That show was hilarious. It was so ridiculous. But you needed the music videos. We don't really. They're scaling back on music videos apparently, with MTV not doing them as much. Like they still happen, but I've noticed that before sometimes we get somewhere between like 2 to 4 music videos per an album. It's maybe like one for one single, and that's about it. Yoshimitsu. We got to see Sisu 2 in a stuffy Sisu. What is SISU 2? In a stuffy, pretentious small town film festival last week. Watching that audience watch that movie was almost as fun as the film. I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Sisu 2. Road to Revenge. Okay, I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Interesting. I guess maybe it's a Finnish action movie.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Rad.
Love it. Go pal. But some lines have stuck nearly 30 years later. Oh, about Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Dang.
Okay. Yeah, I need to rewatch it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but that movie was hilarious. It really, really was. Harv's K. Do either of you watch the Chainsaw Man anime? The movie for the second season opens this weekend. Recommended. I do watch Chainsaw Man. So it picks up to start off season 2 similar to what Demon Slayer did. Okay, well then I'll go see it because I've watched the show, so I at least know that. But I didn't understand that. I was worried that it was going to be I missed something. But if that's the case, then I will find time this weekend to go see it. Because Chainsaw Man is fantastic. All right. Well, we got close-ish 46. Not bad at all, Miss Chris. Again, we'll say for now in case something happens before we get out of here. But Chris, go ahead and plug your stuff one more time, man. What's going on with you?
Go on over to Two Filthy Casuals on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Go check out our Batman the Animated Series episode. Find us on TikTok or Instagram. Like, subscribe, do all those things. That's nice. We also have a Patreon if you want bonus content. That's just me and Amy being ridiculous. And then, speakfriendstudio.com if you want to learn about VO.
Awesome. And you know where to find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms. You can see it right there at the bottom is how you spell all that. YouTube.com/Swaggy Blurred. Blurred Breakdown on Mondays. Spill the Tequila over on John Roca's channel on Tuesdays. Blurred's in the Hood on Wednesdays, me and Jay. But again, this Sunday, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we will be doing a marathon stream, a Blurred-a-thon from 10 a.m. until who knows when. Late into the evening. So come hang with us. We're going to be doing all sorts of games. We got punishment and reward tiers depending on how the donations come in, including for those that are not familiar with when we did the Hot Ones Challenge, that is back on the table. If you want to see the funniest thing in the world, I will go and find the clip of Jay having a reaction to the first time we did the Hot Ones Challenge, and that by itself will make you want to come and watch all of that come on. And then obviously here on Fridays and the Demon Slayer reactions with myself and Kristian and all the reactions on this channel and all of that awesome stuff. We got a few more came in, Chris, really quick before we get out of here. Ooh. The G-Man. Chris, you were a Texan. You knew George by osmosis.
Oh, probably.
Mike Cat says, favorite 90s cartoon other than TMNT? Hey Arnold for me. There was a lot of good ones. I loved the Sonic show going up.
Yep.
What else? Both Sonic shows. They were both very good. Rocko's Modern Life.
Great one.
Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack was kind of the 2000s technically. I think that was like 2001 or 2002. Batman the Animated Series. There's a lot.
Gargoyles.
I never got into Gargoyles. I had a little bit. Darkwing Duck.
Love Darkwing Duck. I got him up here somewhere.
Nice. Tiny Toon Adventures, Animaniacs.
Oh yeah, Animaniacs.
Were you about to say Sailor Moon?
Sailor Moon.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. A lot of good stuff. Yoshimitsu, Sisu equals Finished John Wick plus Inglourious Bastards. Damn.
Okay.
That's savage. Oh,
that's fun.
Luke came in with a good one. Pokemon. That was also another good one.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely. And then George is from Delaware, I think. Okay.
Oh, well, so is my dad. So maybe that's how I knew. Osmosis. There we go. Someone told me somewhere in my lineage.
I wish I knew.
And you know this, man.
And finally, Michael D. Aguilar with more support. Thank you so much. It looks like we're ending at 52. So thank you so much, y'all. I got to get to this callback, so I'm going to get out of here. But we love you. Thank you. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. We're making that push to $250,000 at 250. Obviously, we are here Monday through Friday with incredible shows, lots of reactions on the channel. And again, the Demon Slayer reaction should be up here momentarily on Saturday. But much love to each and every one of you. We will see you on the next one. Y'all have a great weekend. Peace.